All right, let's dive into this Brizy Cloud deal on appsumo.
Sounds good to me.
We're taking a deep dive into their website and this promotional overview they put out.
Okay.
Got to see if it lives up to all the hype. Building a website,
Yeah.
it can be such a pain sometimes. It's like internet purgatory, especially if you're not like fluent in code.
Oh, tell me about it.
I'm looking at this appsumo page here, and they even compare building a website to, get this, churning your own butter.
Okay.
Like, that feeling when you're like, this should be simpler.
Right, right.
And they're saying Brizy Cloud, that's the antidote to that whole mess. They're really
Really?
aiming it at us non-coders.
Interesting.
So the question is this really the easy button solution for website building, the one we've all been waiting for?
Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a bold claim.
Yeah.
They're positioning themselves as the alternative to the big players, Squarespace, Wix, Webflow, those guys.
Yeah, the names everyone recognizes.
Exactly. And their secret weapon, AI. They're putting a lot of emphasis on AI-powered features.
AI, huh? So are we talking like robots building websites now?
Well, not exactly robots,
Mm-hmm.
but think of it this way. Imagine building a website in seconds.
Seconds. Hold on, you've got my attention now. Okay, let's talk specifics. They mention things like generating client proposals, tailoring the design to your industry. Heck, they even say you can turn your Google business profile into a website.
It's definitely ambitious.
Yeah.
It seems like they're targeting busy professionals, freelancers, agencies,
Yeah.
anyone who needs to get a website up and running quickly,
Right.
without the usual headaches.
Right. Time is money, especially for freelancers and agencies.
Exactly. And remember that client feedback tool they mentioned? That's huge for streamlining client work. You know how back and forth feedback can be?
Ugh, don't remind me. That can be the least fun part of any project. But it sounds like Brizy Cloud is going for more than just those simple one-page websites, right?
You got it. They're talking full-blown multi-page websites, even AI-powered landing pages.
Okay, see, that's pretty impressive. Landing pages can be so time-consuming to get right.
Sure. But they're not just about throwing you into the deep end with all this AI stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They also offer, over 200 pre-designed templates.
Oh, okay, so they've got options for those of us who like a little more guidance.
Exactly. They seem to understand that flexibility is key. Not everyone wants to start from scratch.
Makes sense. Now, one thing that keeps popping up is this whole speed thing.
Yeah.
They keep mentioning this Brizy compiler, whatever that is, that's supposed to make your website lightning fast.
Right.
Is that just a bunch of technical jargon to make it sound fancy, or is there something to it?
Well, page load speed is a big deal. It affects how users experience your website, how well it ranks in search results. It's kind of a big deal.
Okay, so it's not just about sounding cool.
Not at all. My guess is this Brizy compiler is their way of optimizing your website's code and images behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are usually the main culprits when it comes to slow loading times.
So potentially a very good thing for people who are worried about their website being slow.
Could be a game changer if it works as well as they claim. We'd have to test it out to see.
All right, so speaking of things that sound almost too good to be true, this lifetime deal on appsumo.
Yeah, the lifetime deal.
Unlimited landing pages, unlimited websites, unlimited pop-ups, all for a one-time fee. That's pretty tempting, especially with how many things are subscription-based these days.
It's definitely enticing, I'll give them that.
Right.
But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Unlimited often comes with, shall we say, certain limitations, especially when you're talking about website builders. They do mention different tiers on appsumo.
Oh, right, the tiers, like choosing your level of commitment.
Exactly. So it's worth digging a little deeper to see where those limitations might be lurking. What you see is not always what you get.
Okay, so before we get too excited about this unlimited everything, we need to do a little detective work.
Precisely.
Figure out where those limitations might be hiding.
Always read the fine print.
All right, so where do those limitations usually pop up? What should people be watching out for?
Well, that's where things get interesting.
So they're really pushing those custom pop-ups.
Yeah, the pop-ups?
They're even saying it can, magically transform your website visitors into paying customers?
Well, they're not wrong to highlight that,
Oh,
Entrepreneurs and agencies, they're all about generating leads, right?
that's the name of the game.
Pop-ups, when they're done right, not those annoying ones, can be really effective for that.
Yeah, but I've seen some website builders where the pop-ups are just, stuck in 1999.
Ah, I see what you mean. So you're wondering if these ones are actually customizable.
Exactly. If they're going to be effective, they have to look good.
Yeah, no, totally.
And speaking of looking good, they mention multi-language website translation,
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
which for anyone with a global audience or like if you're working with international clients,
Game changer.
I've tried doing that on other platforms.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. So the fact that Brizy Cloud makes it, supposedly easy, that's a big plus.
Definitely a plus.
Okay, so we've got all these features, right? AI, templates, unlimited everything, apparently, multi-language support. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go back to those tiers they mentioned.
Ah, yes, the tiers.
It's starting to feel like one of those, but wait, there's more infomercials.
Well, let's break it down then. They've got 3 tiers. Think of them like lifetime access keys.
Okay.
And each one unlocks a different level of Brizy Cloud. So you get more websites, more workspaces, that kind of thing.
So it's like choosing your character class in a video game.
Exactly.
Are you the solopreneur just starting out, or are you the big agency?
Exactly. You've got your solo act, your small team, or you're like a whole agency,
Yeah.
But here's the catch, and this is where those infomercial vibes come back. What does unlimited actually mean for each tier?
Right, because they're shouting unlimited from the rooftops, but then they also say that upgrading unlocks more stuff. It's like those all-you-can-eat buffets where they cut you off from the crab legs after a certain point.
You're catching on.
Yeah.
It's a classic marketing tactic. The core features, like your landing pages, websites, pop-ups, those might be unlimited within your tier. But there are almost always limitations on other things.
Like what kind of limitations?
Okay, well, storage space. That's a common one.
Okay.
They'll limit how much content you can store, especially if you've got like high-res images or videos.
Right.
Bandwidth is another one. How much data can go in and out of your website?
Oh, right.
If you get a sudden traffic surge,
Yeah.
a lower tier might not cut it.
Okay, so those are 2 big ones. Anything else we should be watching out for?
Sometimes they'll limit the number of elements you can use on a page.
Oh, interesting.
Like if you want a ton of images and videos and text, it might not be possible on the lower tiers.
Okay, so unlimited doesn't always mean truly unlimited.
Not always, no.
So how do we find those sneaky limitations? Do we have to put on our detective hats and go through the terms and conditions with a fine-tooth comb?
You can.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
you could just reach out to Brizy Cloud directly and ask.
That's smart. Skip the headache and get the info straight from the source. Okay, but let's say, for the sake of this deep dive, Brizy Cloud is on the level.
All right, so we're saying best case scenario, they deliver on everything.
Yeah, they're the real deal. Even with some limitations, it's a serious, impressive set of features, right?
It's a lot.
AI, templates, pop-up builders, multi-language. We threw a lot of features at the wall today.
It's a pretty stacked toolkit, yeah.
Right.
Especially if you need to build websites quickly.
Right.
Whether you're a coding whiz or like a completely new to this, having it all in one place is attractive.
Definitely. Plus, let's not forget this appsumo deal.
Oh, yeah?
It's lifetime access, no more subscriptions.
That's a big selling point for some people, for sure.
You pay once and you're theoretically set.
Theoretically. But it does make you wonder, what if they go out of business?
Ooh, that's the risk with these lifetime deals.
It's a gamble.
You're betting on their long-term success. But on a more positive note, those user reviews we skimmed through,
Oh, yeah, the reviews?
people seem to like Brizy Cloud. They said the interface was easy to use.
Which is important.
Essential, even. And they liked how fast it was, both in terms of building a website and how fast the websites themselves loaded.
Right, because nobody wants to use a slow website.
Exactly. And they mentioned regular updates, so...
Oh, so they're actively working on it.
Yeah, seems like they're listening to feedback.
That's always a good sign.
Although I do remember a couple of people mentioning bugs.
Ah, right, the bugs.
And then, the occasional support hiccup.
Yeah, you can't escape those completely, can you?
Sadly, no. Every piece of software has its quirks.
For sure.
So, where does this leave us? We've unpacked the features, the pros, the cons. We even peeked into the minds of Brizy Cloud users. Is it the next big thing? What do you think?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I think we gave everyone a lot to think about.
We did.
Ultimately, it's about what you need.
Right.
What are your priorities?
Yeah.
And what's your risk tolerance with that lifetime deal?
Right. Good points. But here's one last thought, just to keep everyone up at night.
Oh, hit us with it.
Do you think these AI website builders like Brizy Cloud, do you think they'll spark more creativity, or are they going to lead to a world of like cookie cutter websites?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It's something to think about.
It really is.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another deep dive in the books. Until next time,
Happy building.
happy building.